Hello and welcome back to another edition of Borrow Collects. Today we have some very exciting news to discuss regarding Storm Collectibles and their Storm Arena line that I'm personally very excited about, and the implications of where Storm's going with this. I feel like they are very much coming after Jada Toys after the success of their Ultra Street Fighter 2 line. So before we get into that news and showing off what Storm has revealed, just a little bit of channel maintenance, I suppose. For those that are enjoying the content on the channel, as I kind of ramp it up and I'm trying to put out some new things for you guys, it would help me greatly if you'd drop a like, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, as, you know, it helps the channel grow, helps the outreach of the videos, all of that stuff. But without further ado, I don't want to waste any more of your time. Let's get into the actual news here. And that is, we've got the proper actual shots of Ken, the first of the Street Fighter Alpha 3 figures that are going to be in this Storm Arena line. This is the 6-inch line, so where Storm figures are usually in that sort of 1/10 scale, much larger than, say, a Marvel Legend or even Jada's Street Fighter 2 line. These are going to be far more in scale with those figures. And the big one is the price point. So your Storm figures usually setting you back, at least in the UK, around sort of £80 to £85 on the average. Some of the ones that come with more stuff can be over 100, but they're very much a premium item. These figures, they did go up on Big Bad Toy Store in America. This is a $27 figure. This is very much competing with that Jada price point. And as you can see there, you're getting 2 head sculpts, you're getting an effect piece, you're getting 3 different pairs of hands, and then the big one for me, the absolutely huge one, is you're getting a figure stand. All included in that $30, sort of £25, kind of around that. I don't mind paying £30 for this. This wouldn't bother me at all. Price point. And I'm going to be honest, it's looking really good. Now, obviously, we haven't had any of these Storm Arena figures in hand. We haven't held one. We don't know what the quality's like. I mean, coming from Storm are usually up there, but they've never done a figure at this price point. And I'm intrigued how they've managed to get this down, or to the sort of this level, if it does have this price point. We did see the Baki Hanma from Son of Ogre Baki. I don't really care about Baki, so I haven't covered it, but this is what I'm interested in as someone who's collecting the Jada figures. It's this Street Fighter Alpha 3 line. So without further ado, this is the first image. As you see, this looks really, really good. But like, there we go. You're seeing the sort of articulation you're getting here. And I think it's really good. I'm liking the joints. You can obviously see you can get a full split there on the articulation. And you can also see quite clearly there that they do have toe articulation, which is something that the early Jada figures do not have. Now, I know for a fact that the newer Jada figures that are coming out later in the Ultra Street Fighter 2 line do have this, but it's interesting that Storm immediately from the offset giving them toe articulation, which you'll see in a later, one of the photos later, I think, you actually see them utilize it. So, but you can see there's the double jointed elbows there. I mean, it's looking phenomenal. It's looking great. Now, I do know that there is an ab crunch on this figure because the Baki one shows it quite visibly, but obviously the gi of Ken kind of covering it up. I think this head sculpt as well, this sort of smirking head sculpt, perfectly encapsulates Ken in Street Fighter Alpha 3. I'm also guessing that based on, as you see the background there, that is Ken's stage from Street Fighter Alpha 3. I'm guessing that's going to be in the packaging, much like the Storm Collectibles figures come with the background of whatever character the figure is based on. So that's interesting. We obviously haven't seen actual in-package shots yet of these figures. Let's move on. Here you see it actually deploying that figure stand. So we're seeing that it is definitely an actual figure stand. It's not like it just supports like an effect piece. And it looks good. It looks simple. It's not looking quite as complicated as, say, or advanced as the regular Storm stands that come that you can buy for the larger scale figures. But I mean, what do you need? I mean, the fact that you can, out of the box, immediately pose him doing a tattoo, or doing, as you'll see in a later photo, Shoryuken. I mean, I don't know. I think if I was Jada, you'd be a bit concerned here. You'd be a bit... They're definitely coming for your market. I think there's more than enough room for both. But it does mean, where does Jada go after they've done Street Fighter 2? Because they're doing Alpha already. And knowing Storm, if Storm are going to keep up with this Alpha line, I mean, they could be going for ages if they wanted to, but the one thing that Storm is often critiqued about is never completing lines, never actually finishing them. But I think with this sort of smaller scale figure, it may be more possible for Storm to do that. And then, as you can see here, look at that, there's that effect piece. I'm not sure I'm as massive fan of the not the whole fist being kind of engulfed there. As you can see, it just kind of slots on the end and it's only covering one side. I think if you posed it the other way round, so that the flame side was actually facing sort of the camera in this instance, it'd look a bit better. But it's still, I mean, that is his Shoryuken piece. And the fact that this Ken immediately coming with the Shoryuken fire piece. Bear in mind, the initial Ken release from Jada did not. It came with a fire Hadouken, which actually wasn't accurate, because in Street Fighter 2, Ken cannot throw a flame Hadouken. It's not actually a thing, but I forgave it for that. The actual later release, the white Ken, in the white Gi Ken, actually does come with the flame Shoryuken piece. I think after because they had made it for the violent Ken, they could just recolor the piece. But overall, I mean, I think Jada needs to be a little bit worried. I mean, the articulation here is looking great. You can see that bicep cut there, so it'll be interesting to see how much range you get on that because of the gi and everything, and that can constrict. I know on the Jada figures it does constrict a bit. And I'm also intrigued to see what kind of plastic is the gi made out of, because obviously if it's more bendable, then it might be okay. If it's not, we'll see. But overall, I mean, if we go back to that initial image, I mean, the fact he comes with the peace hands for the win pose. I mean, the current Kens from Jada, we don't have that. That's not a thing. Like, you just don't get it, and you get the more sort of default sort of smirk, and then the actual. I think this smiling face is absolutely brilliant. And then the other big news. This is coming this year, and not this year as in right at the end. Where I stated in my hopes for 2025 video, I thought there's no way we'll have these in hand. This is Q2. This is like a few months away, according to Storm. And that's the real shocking part, because Storm usually only reveals figures that are coming out like in a year. This is like quick. This is like speedy, which is shocking from Storm. So, guys, I want to hear your thoughts on this. I want to hear what you think. Do you think Jada needs to be worried? Because, I don't know. Jada's been getting a lot of praise because their figures are great. And I love the Jada figures. I'm still going to be buying all those Street Fighter 2 figures because they're incredible. And also, it's a different game. It's a different look. As you can see, Ken looks very different. He's got the ponytail and everything. So I'll probably be collecting these, but I'll also obviously be collecting Jada ones. But do you think it's likely that this is going to actually lower the sales of Jada's Street Fighter 2 line, or do you think realistically both can coexist at the same time? I'll be intrigued to see what you guys think about that. So thank you all for watching. I've been BorrowCollects. I hope you've enjoyed this little news update. As always, do remember to keep collecting. Keep up that collecting. And I'll see you next time.